What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news for you concerning Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez. These two have agreed to fight on the Cinco de Mayo weekend, either the T-Mobile Stadium or Madison Square Garden. I pretty much figured the fight was going to happen, but who knows? It was still kind of up in the air, but that's really how they were going to go. They made a lot of money last time. The pay-per-view was over 1 million pay-per-view buys, so, and it was an entertaining fight. So, there is a great appeal for these guys to fight again. They could have fought other fighters, but they decided to fight each other again. And this is according to Eric Gomez, the president of Golden Boy Promotions. So it's pretty much set in stone. They got some last minute details that they haven't worked out, but the fight is on. The contracts have been signed and sent over, so it looks like it's a go. Well, let's talk about the venues. The venues was, out of T-Mobile or Madison Square Garden. More than likely it's going to be at T-Mobile Arena. You know what I mean? So don't be surprised if that will be if that will be the case, because Madison Square Garden, they're already complaining about the tax and in New York, and New York's so expensive for the hotels and things of that nature. But honestly, it should be in New York just to have the balance. You know what I mean? Because it was out west last time, so it should be by default if they want to be fair about it. Since there's no rematch clause, they want to have it in Madison Square Garden. They want to have it in the Mecca Boxing Arena. They want to have it there because it would be better for Gennady Golovkin, because that's where Gennady Golovkin likes to fight, and he has a lot of fans there. And Canelo Alvarez needs to fight other places to get out of that stigma only fighting in Vegas like Floyd. I know he's fought a couple times in Texas. I know that, but you want to get out your comfort level. To be a champion, you want to go to the backyard of a fighter, or other surroundings instead of your own. That defines you as a fighter, I feel, my opinion. So it would be a treat if it was in Madison Square Garden, but besides that, the actual fight at hand, these guys have been in the ring. They've sparred together before they even fought. So I look at this fight more of the same. I look at it like round 13. You know what I'm saying? Like, they will go in there. Gennady's going to apply the pressure. Canelo's going to go for the counters. You know what I'm saying? And I think Gennady, really, he should make an adjustment on this. Stop throwing too many right hands to the body. I know I would save this for the scene study, but, these guys have already fought, so there's really no need to really hold off on that. Canelo Alvarez really needs to, increase his output, because, he was good at answering shots, but the constant pressure that Gennady Golovkin put on him, I don't think he could handle. I think in the 7th or 8th, you started to see him really kind of getting discouraged because he's not used to being in there with someone that keeps coming forward and landing those shots and applying that pressure, cutting off the ring. And Gennady Golovkin didn't really cut off the ring like he really supposed to. So I think Gennady could cut off the ring more, go more to the body than he did instead of the head, because Canelo Alvarez has great upper body movement. So he's not the most mobile fighter when it comes to using the ring, stepping side to side with lateral movements, but he is good, with an overall movement to the body. He has good defense. He's not the typical Mexican fighter. So Gennady Golovkin needs to break that down, needs to cut off the ring and break to the body, apply the jab. His keys of victory would be exactly that. Canelo Alvarez keys of victory, wait for Gennady Golovkin, which he will do if Canelo can stay still long enough for him to do that. Because his first fight he did, you seen glimpses of him, and he fought like Landy Lara a lot in there when Lara fought him. So it was kind of like the reversal in styles, where Canelo came forward and Gennady came forward and Canelo was the one that was using the ring. So, but wait for Gennady Golovkin, which he will do a lot of times, overcommit a punch, and look for the counter, and work on the combinations. And he needs to also work on the body, because I think some of those body punches that Canelo landed did affect Gennady Golovkin. And one thing I notice about body punchers, they don't like to get hit to the body. It's a fact. You know, you look at guys like old school, Mickey Ward, right? Mickey Ward is a guy that's known for the left hook to the body, and he can put you out with that shot. It was one of the best left hooks to the body that I've seen besides Chavez and Barrera. You know, he's a good left hooker, a body left hooker, you know, a tree chopper. That's what a lot of guys call it. But I've seen him when he fought Emmanuel Burton. Emmanuel Burton was also going to the body on him, and he didn't like that not so much. So Canelo can also go to the body and sustain more, just as much body punishment to Gennady Golovkin as Golovkin can to him. So both of these guys really, I feel that Canelo has the better punch variety, but I think he needs to really pick his shots more accordingly, but apply more pressure. You know, so but even though it looks like a good fight, I still think that Canelo has the advantages outside the ring, meaning, you know, how a lot of mysterious fight cards go with Canelo Alvarez. I feel that he really needs to no, he doesn't really need to do nothing but what he's doing. Gennady Golovkin is the one that has to really dominate Canelo to get a firm decision. You know what I'm saying? And a just decision. You know what I mean? You just don't want it to be him trying to overcommit and gassing out like Kovalev did with Ward on the second fight, because I thought that Kovalev did enough with a knockdown to beat Ward by decision, but Ward won the decision. But Ward comes back and knocks out Kovalev. So don't be surprised if you have a kind of fight like that. It's really unexpected, that you think like, oh man, Gennady Golovkin has to do a lot more, and he ends up burning himself out trying to convince the judges that, hey, yeah, I can do more this time. I can make it more convincing, but then in the middle of the fight, you end up gassing out. So the fight can go a lot of ways. The good thing about it, you know, the silver lining of what I said, though, the foil, would be that Golovkin doesn't really have problems with stamina. I don't see him. You know, I seen him huffing and puffing real heavy in the last 8 or 9 rounds, but he did not stop. So I don't think he has stop in him. You know, he might have a little, you know, chip in him, you know, a little cyborg to him. You know what I mean? Because he does not stop. He's like a machine. So, but the fight is on. Look forward to it. You guys have any questions, suggestions, comments, leave it below. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.